Has actually declared that there are no term limits in being a performer, and so he won't be hanging his musical boots anytime soon. Zimbabwean legend Oliver Mtukudzi, a musician and of course UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador for Children East and Southern Africa, is in Rwanda, and he now joins us live in studio to just chat about his trade. Thank you so much, Oliver. Such an honor having you right in our studios.
Well, my pleasure being here.
And of course, you have actually mentioned that you are not quitting, never quitting anytime soon. I mean, let's take a bit, talk about that.
Well, it's simple. I can't run away from myself. If I was doing a career, oh yes, I would quit. But this is not a career. I'm yet to decide a career to take on. No.
Right. So if it was a career, you'd have quit. But since it's not, you're not going to leave. Now, you have actually been gifted with the talent of actually writing songs that actually reflect on so many real day-to-day life issues. And of course, some of them have actually been touching on the struggles of the people back home in Zimbabwe. And of course, today in the news, we have had mixed reactions or mixed stories about what's happening in Zimbabwe. Of course, the economic issues back there. I want to read your thoughts on how you feel about your country today and where you think music and art can actually plug in this recovery process.
Well, home is best. I'll always be optimistic about that because that's where I came from. I was born there, I grew up there, and whatever direction the situation might go, it's all about people who decide that, who make that. But otherwise, generally as ordinary people of Zimbabweans, we get confused at times when decisions are made and we are not really involved in the decision making. People decide for us. And like in this case, right now, the economy of the country is just, we just see that the economy is not good. If I can't buy bread for my children, then I'm worried about that, you see. So that's where the confusion is. How do we rectify that? How do we better our lives when we have empty stomachs?
Right, and you've been there, you've seen it all as far as, you know, the twists and turns as far as Zimbabwe is concerned. And there was hope. I mean, when President Mnangagwa took office, do you feel that that was just false hope for some of the Zimbabweans who were feeling like it's time, we're now hitting the turn?
I think I felt serious about it. It was good for a change because we're looking for a better solution. So a change was welcome, you see. But if the change fails to satisfy our timings too, then it's still a problem, you know. So, but I'm optimistic. Everything will go right at some point.
You're optimistic.
If the right people do the right things.
If the right people do the right things. Let's talk about those people who need to do things. And in this case, let's now take some time and talk about musicians like you, legendary musicians like you. What then do you feel is your role as far as turning around the economy of Zimbabwe is concerned?
It's not about being a Zimbabwean that makes an artist play his role. Purpose of art is to give life and hope to the people. Is to heal the broken hearts. So that's what my music does. And for your own information, my music, the umbrella that covers whatever I talk about in any song of mine, is self-discipline. Because without self-discipline, we go nowhere. For us to conduct this interview, it's not about our qualifications, but it's about self-discipline.
Right.
Self-discipline translates to respecting the next person. You respected me, I respected you, and here we are talking.
So it will take self-discipline to actually turn things around. Let's switch back to your career now. You say, I mean, let me not even say career, pardon me that, because you started by saying that this is not a career, it is a lifetime. Yes, let's talk about it now, because if we've seen some young artists today coming up and quitting the following day, where do you think, or what sort of advice would you be pushing out there for them so that they are not able to, yes?
I think the first, where the problem is,
Where's the problem?
people follow their passion. And passion comes from things you have seen or heard before. And they don't do who they are. There's no better you than you. So if you don't do you, the whole world has lost you. So some are following their passion. They sing because they've seen Oliver Mtukudzi before. So they do that. But is that what you can do? No. It's your passion. You saw Oliver Mtukudzi at some point, and you want to be like that. You admire that. You're a fan. You want that. And you also try and do that.
And you feel that is wrong?
Yeah. And if you do that, you're trying to compete Oliver Mtukudzi because you want to surpass Oliver Mtukudzi. Now, in this world, we're not born to compete. We are born to complement each other.
We're born to complement each
Do
other.
what you can do, and I do what I can do. And together, we make a better world.
And we've just been speaking about role models and mentorship. Probably they look up to you, and that is what would be guiding them. Then you're here saying that that is wrong.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They look up to me, and they think they can do what I do, and leave what they can do, and try and do what I do, which is wrong. And these youngsters, most of them, that's why you find they come up with a song. It might be a good song by Lucky. Then the next day, it's gone, and it doesn't pay him. It's not worth doing anymore. So he leaves, he quits, and do something else.
Right, because he was following the wrong.
So I usually blame it on parents, because parents are supposed to help their children identify themselves. And if they do so, then the child will have a good reason to go to school. Now most parents send their children to school for the wrong reason and have certificates on the walls from up to university levels against God. That's not what God created a kid for.
Right. What would be the right reasons, Oliver?
The right reason is for parents to identify, to know their children.
Right.
Know your child and push him in who he is, not what you want him to be.
Right. Well said. I mean, the music, we all understand, has no borders, and that is why we're able to sing and dance to the tunes of languages that we don't even understand. But when you come to the African continent, we've seen our leaders sign into deals like the Continental Free Trade Area Agreement to enable free trade across the continent. Where do you see artists coming in and plugging into these kind of things? Because you already started that with your songs, with your music that have crossed borders.
Yes, we do that all the time. But when leaders sign these things, they don't call on artists to participate, to be part of it. They don't.
Right.
They do it because they need us when they want entertainment. But our purpose, they don't consider our purpose as the right purpose.
Right.